Greetings, everyone. Jim Walker here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to any and all returning viewers. Uh, this one is the third video I've recorded this afternoon, and each one I've come out with the idea that it would be nice, quick, expeditious hit, and then I go rambling on for a while. So I'm going to try and see if the third time is the charm, see if I can make this one very concise. This one is almost more of an op-ed. There's not going to be a whole lot of I'll play it a little bit of something I'm going to tack on at the end. But this is just a suggestion for the younger drummers out there, novice, younger to intermediate, singing the praises of simple, standard instruments and setups. And because nowadays, especially in the age of social media, there are so many unique, distinctive, creative, and I'm happy they're there. Instruments, different types of drum heads, different types of cymbals, different accessories, things to put on your snare drum, different cymbals with holes in them, cymbals with stuff stuck on them, everything from tire chains and kebab skewers and Mo Wanchuk bobblehead dolls, and there's just guys throwing stuff all over their kit. And I'm of actually a split mindset on this because I applaud creativity when it comes to finding different sounds to play. One of my heroes is Ayrton Moreira, the great Brazilian percussionist. And there's videos of him, so I'll see if I can find the link. Hopefully it's still up there, where he's discussing his percussion table, his percussion setup. And he's got, in addition to standard sorts of percussion instruments and those lovely Pete Engelhardt instruments that he has, he's got some children's toys. One video, he features a pair of wooden butcher's shoes from Brazil that he plays kind of like a large set of claves. I remember reading an interview in Modern Drummer. He was talking about he was called to record for a commercial, and they needed the sound of bacon frying. He was very proud of the fact that he found a piece of cellophane, crinkled that into the microphone, and that was the sound they were looking for. He would, the same interview, I got to find this, in 1980 something in Modern Drummer. When he was younger, he would play a game, maybe he still does, and he would see an object and just imagine what it would sound like if he hit it with a stick, with a mallet, with whatever. And then when he actually hit it, see how close he was to anticipating. That was one of his ways of training himself to explore new sounds and know what a different type of thing might sound like when he played it. So with a hero like that, I'm not disparaging someone who has, stuff stuck on the snare drum head and a rattle here and then towel over this and cymbals with the stacks and holes, and it's great. But if you're just starting out, I'm going to interject here and interrupt myself here. If you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen me make mention of the fact that I don't like giving advice. I don't like telling people what to do, because I don't like getting it. I can't stand it. If someone says to me, you know what you should do, it looks like I'm standing there listening at that point. I'll be looking at them and making eye contact and nodding and smiling. But in my mind, I'm actually thousands of miles away on some deserted tropical island, because as soon as I hear that word should, I don't want to hear any more of it. On the other hand, if someone has an option for me, if someone wants to make me know, make me aware of something I don't know, that's beautiful. Suggestions I love. Advice, no. Suggestions, yes. So this is not advice. This is not what anyone should do. But I'll throw it out there if you are, because it's all over the place, on social media, and everyone wants to stand out. So you'll see all these, it sounds like I'm disparaging it, and I'm not. But all these non-traditional, don't get me started on the word traditional. You see all this stuff out there, and before you explore all that stuff, or concurrent with exploring all that stuff, here's the op-ed part of it. My suggestion is spend some time with plain sounding instruments, basic instruments, conventional instruments, standard setups. Piano players deal with this. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, McCoy Tyner could all sit down at the same piano, and each one would still sound like Chick, Herbie, McCoy, Ahmad Jamal, Bill Evans, respectively. Same instrument, and they are able to still sound like themselves. There's something to be said for developing your sound and your ability to create sounds on instruments which are kind of bland, not really that exotic. Um, and that's the kit I've got set up now. I've got a few extra things that I've put back up now, um, just because. And again, I'm not disparaging having extra stuff on your kit. I've got a beautiful flat ride here, splash cymbal up there. I've got my bell, got a bunch of different mallets in my stick bag. I just did a video talking about rivets and hi-hat cymbals. So yeah, absolutely explore this stuff, but there's something to be said for just going with a real basic setup. Something like let me put it this way. I have found that there is a reason that the standard sizes and types and dimensions and materials have become the standards. Not just that everyone's copying everyone else, but because they work. They work really well, and it's worth investigating. Um, so 14-inch hi-hats, an 18-inch crash, maybe another 18 or 16-inch crash on the other side, 20-inch medium ride, single ply, in this case clear heads, could be coated heads, just a real basic setup before you start to get into exotic choices for drum heads, and I'm barreling past expeditious at this point. Try some of these plain things. See what you can get out of them. You might like the plain things. It's very easy to overlook a plain old single ply coated head on a snare drum because it's not that impressive on social media, so you don't see guys going, oh my God, it's a single ply coated head. It doesn't seem to fly that way. But it might be exactly what you're looking for. And even if it's not, it gives you a starting point. Now you can really hear what these different types of heads, different types of cymbals are about. Get that starting point and then build off of there. So if you are just starting out and maybe you're in high school, maybe middle school, maybe you're an adult who's getting into this seriously for the first time, not that you have to do this. Again, I'm not telling anyone what they should do or what they have to do. But if you're in the music store and you're looking for that first new ride cymbal, don't overlook the plain stuff. You got a basic 20-inch A Zildjian. This is a pre-serial 602 that you're going to hear in a minute. When I play, I used all my just bog standard pre-serial 1960s Peisty 602s. I took the splash down. I left the flat up, but I didn't play it. And 10, 12, 14, 20-inch bass drum. This is a pretty basic setup. Explore the simple things. And if I had to put a little extra twist on this to wrap it up, whether you're going with something simple or looking for something more exotic, don't look to the instrument to be your salvation. That's kind of the dividing line on this. If you're going around thinking, oh, if I find just the right ride cymbal, that'll solve all my issues. If I just the right snare drum, that'll solve my issues. It may well help, but you still got to be able to play it. So whatever you're looking for, make sure you're developing your thing. Consider the plain stuff. There's a quote that I used as one of my silly little introductions on a previous video, which is why I'm not going to use it here. Ry Cooder, the fantastic guitarist with Taj Mahal and Buena Vista Social Club and John Hyatt and if you don't know Ry Cooder, check out the name. You've heard him. If you haven't heard him, you need to hear him. And there's a quote of his in the book about Farrington guitars, about Danny Farrington's guitars, the coffee table book. And I think it's page 11. Why I remember that, I have no idea. But Ry Cooder said, less is more with an electric guitar. And if there's less of it, there's got to be more of you. And I'm kind of the same way in my mindset these days with cymbals. Now, I also just had a 1980s Peisty Sound Creation medium dark ride show up in a box on my doorstep about a week ago, so I'm not immune to going for the unusual stuff. But you'll hear my plain little 602 20-inch medium 602 ride cymbal, 2,400 something grams, just bog standard, and this gets as much love from me as the more exotic stuff I've got. So I'm repeating myself. I've blown past the threshold of expeditiousness, so I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks everyone for checking this out. Any thoughts, please feel free to share them in the comments section. Thanks for taking the time to view the video. Talk to you soon.